Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Odin, and we're back for another new series, and today we're going to start checking out Urtuk the Desolation. So, as you can see, what we have here is an early access title. It's been out for a little bit now, and this is not the first time I've played it. I've got about 16 hours into it, but do not be misled. That does not mean that I am any good, or that I know what I'm doing, because of course I'm terrible. Anyway, what we have here is a tactical RPG with an art style that is very reminiscent of Darkest Dungeon. But it also has, I mean, it's like 90% tactical combat, 10% moving around a world map, deciding which battles to take, leveling up your soldiers, things like that. So by far the primary focus is on the combat itself. There's not a lot else to it, but you really don't need anything else. It also has a very unique terrain system, which is interesting, and I really wanted to share this game just in case people are unfamiliar. So we're gonna just start a new game here, and I'm just gonna take you through it. So if you're unfamiliar, I hope this will be illuminating for you. But of course, I don't have the answers to all the questions that you may have. There's probably plenty of other better videos out there, but you clearly have low standards, and that's why you're here. And that's not a dig. That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. Anyway, I am required by law to ask you to hit like and subscribe and to hit that stupid bell thing. Alright, so let's start a campaign. So here is where we choose our party. Now here's the thing. This dude, Urtuk, has to stay alive no matter what. If this guy dies, if Urtuk dies, the game ends. Now, by default, Urtuk is a priest. That's his class. And you can change it. You can make him basically any class, or at least any of the starting classes for sure. And I prefer to leave him as a priest. He has some interesting abilities as a priest that we will see shortly. I also like to start off with just this exact default arrangement. We've got this guy who is a guardian. I call him a shield dude. I'm stupid. And then we got this guy who is a berserker, which is great. So that's who we're going to start with. And then we get to choose 2 items to start with. So this silver sword is like a higher quality sword that the Guardian can use, so I'll choose that. And then this silver big axe is a higher quality axe for the Berserker. So we'll pick that, and then we'll go with adventure difficulty. So this says it's for experienced tactical RPG fans and those who've already played the game. It is very challenging. Yeah, it absolutely is. It is very challenging. We're going to choose that though, and we'll go ahead and start the game. Now that it asks you if you'd like to play an Iron Man, I can't talk, mode, and I don't want to. No way. So in a dim prison called the Sanatorium, far underground, far from the light, the maniacal alchemist performs his experiments on unwilling subjects. This looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? Here in this grim cell begins the story of Urtuk. For many years was Urtuk bound to the alchemist's workbench. But on this day, his fortunes would change. Ferocious blows, the heavy prison door shudders in its frame. Eldrick, Urtuk's friend from the world above. I brought weapons here, take them, Eldrick shouts. Hurry, there are too many to kill them all. Well, too late. The sanatorium guards have been summoned. Alright, so we start off with this initial scenario, right? So this is always how the game is going to start. So we're in the prison trying to escape. So Urtuk says, thank you for the rescue, Eldrick, but you've been badly wounded. And Eldrick is right here, and he says, don't worry about me, just let's get out of here. We need to head east. So in this little intro scenario, the objective is to get to these escape tiles, these hexes right here. When we all reach this location, we will be safe. Now, of course, you can see we've got some guards between us and the escape tiles. Alright, so you'll notice what just happened there. Okay, so let's take a second. So, and yeah, you can zoom in and out on the map, which is very important because you want to get an idea of what the battlefield looks like. And we got this really long intro thing. I'll handle this and try to make it a little less like reading a book. So I'm gonna say don't show this again. Alright, so you might have noticed that Eldrick over here had a blue health bar. Blue health bars, that means this guy is an ally. Alright? He's not necessarily... I can't control him, but he is an ally. The red health bar, that's clearly an enemy. The white health bars, these are dudes that I can control. Over here on the left, we've got the initiative turn order. We're right here with Urtuk going, of course. And of course, we'll just, cycle through that. And then you'll notice that right now it is Urtuk's turn. And we've got, obviously, the blue hexes. That's where he can move right now. Now, there's no action point system necessarily. It's just each character has their own range within which they can move. So I could move to the end of this and attack, and I don't have to worry about preserving action points for my attacks or anything. Eldrick's bleeding out pretty bad. He's probably thinking, dude, Odin, will you hurry the hell up? So anyway, another thing that's kind of important here is you notice that we've got these special abilities, and you just click these to activate them. So this is why I like the Priest. He has this lifesteal, which you can cast on an ally, and every time they hit someone, they will gain some health back. They'll, leech it from them. And then he's also got Aegis, which blocks all incoming damage on the next attack for whoever he places that on. The only thing here is that whenever you use one of these abilities, it's going to take some of the Priest's health away. So you can see his white health bar right now. There's a flashing red part. That's how much health he's going to lose if I cast Aegis. But don't worry. Every time you kill an enemy, this Priest goes and eats their body. I know, it's wonderful. He eats their body and he regenerates health. So that's how that works. Now, so obviously in this intro, we have a very specific idea of what we're supposed to do. There's not a lot of room for messing around. You would have noticed that Eldrick over here pushed this guy who was in this tile, I think it was. He pushed him into this. This is called a dead zone, or a death zone, I'm sorry. You can see that in the upper left-hand part of the screen. If you get pushed into this, you are dead. That's all there is to it. Different characters have push abilities or ram abilities. Not everybody does. But we'll go into that a little bit later. So let's just take Urtuk and let's move him right here. So you'll notice that there's also a difference in elevation, in topography, if you will. I believe it's left alt. Is this right? No, not left alt. It's left control. No, it's left shift. There we go. So if you do this, it shows you numbers which correspond to how high a tile is off the ground. So you can move from any tile to another as long as there's only a difference of 1 elevation. If there's 2, you cannot move between those tiles. All right, so obviously we can go from 4 to 5. We can go from 5 to 6 over here. But if you had, say, a 5, or let's say a 4 next to a 6, you would not be able to go from that tile to another. Not from lower to higher elevation, nor from higher to lower. Okay? You get a bonus on your attacks, or actually to your damage, when you attack from higher elevation, and naturally you have a disadvantage if you're attacking from a lower elevation, so that's something to keep in mind. Alright, so I've moved him. I'm going to end the turn with spacebar. Now, we're on the Berserker now. Now let's take a quick look at what pops up when you mouse over the guy. So over there in the top right, you see his name, his level, his HP, his damage, all that kind of stuff. And then you see these things like Monster Heart, Flagrant, and you're like, well, what the hell is that? Well, if you click on this, you can see all the stats and the traits for each character, including enemies, if you want to check the enemies out. So it tells you he's got a movement range of 3. He can only use a big axe. And then you see this max mutator absorptions. That's something we'll go into in just a little bit. So this shows you his main abilities, right? So we've got this attack. We've got swap. This is where you swap positions with someone. And then we have what's called a focus ability. Basically, when he fills up his meter of, let's say, I don't know exactly what they call it, but, like a rage meter kind of thing, then he can use his focus ability. Now, these are the traits. And each character is going to have a different assortment of traits, and you can actually add more traits by using mutators, which we'll go into again. So if you want to know what they're capable of, you just, mouse over this, look at the different things, and it just tells you that what kind of special stuff they can do, what kind of special traits they have. All right, so we'll go ahead and move him right here and end that turn, and then now it's our shield guy, and we'll just move him right up here. And you can see that the next turn is going to be this lovely looking fellow. So we'll go ahead and end that turn. Alright, so he moves up and he hits Eldrick. Now you saw that shield there, so Eldrick does have some armor that's protecting him. Alright, now when that armor gets destroyed, obviously it will stop absorbing damage. It'll stop reducing the damage he takes. That kind of thing. You can see it in the top left there under shield, 95 out of 170. So I don't know precisely the numbers on how that works, but if you've got a shield or a helmet or something like that, it reduces the incoming damage to a certain extent. Alright, now, it is Urtuk's turn again. Now, maybe we don't want Eldrick... Was I calling him Edric? Okay, Eldrick, whatever. We don't want him to die. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast Aegis on him. So the next time he gets hit, he will not lose any health. Me, on the other hand, I just took a lot of damage. Now, the priest is not a very great fighter, so I don't want to move him any closer right now. And usually what I do is I have him hang back in a safe spot, because I don't want him to die, because again, if he dies, we're screwed. Speaking of that, if one of the people in your squad, including the priest, Urtuk, if they fall in battle, it's not necessarily over. What happens is they become injured. And then you have to heal them, and it takes a certain number of days in the game. And if they die again while they are injured, then they are gone for good. Alright? So keep that in mind. Right, so, we're done with his turn. So now we're back on the Berserker. Now you can see a problem here. I can't get to this guy to attack him. What I can do, though, is I can swap with somebody. Now, you'll see there on the little tooltip it says if you have the Lightfoot trait, your turn will not end after you do this. In other words, if I have Lightfoot, and I can check here to see if he has it, he does not have it. We could give it to him later on. He does not have it. If I had it, I could swap and then move again. But as it is now, I can only swap, but I can still attack. So we do this, and then... Oh, you know what? My bad. I thought you could still attack after the swap. Well, hey everybody, guess what? Odin is stupid. You do need Lightfoot to attack after the swap too. I did not know that. I really thought that you could attack after that. Okay, doesn't matter. So, it was then Eldrick's turn. He got out of the way, which was a wise decision. Now, it is our Guardian's turn. Now, he can move, and he can attack. He's also got this bash, and you see it says there it pushes enemy 2 hexes. So it does damage him. It does damage him, not as much as his attack would, which shows a damage of 92. Actually, it's the same amount of damage. Wow, I just keep proving over and over again how stupid I am. I told you at the beginning, though. I warned you. So we could get the same amount of damage, and we could shove him out of the way, which, you know, might be useful at this time. Unfortunately, I cannot push him into the death zone, because I would have to be where this Berserker is. The Berserker does not have a push ability, sadly. So we're just going to do a regular attack. You see, that did a lot of damage. Now it's his turn. He attacked me. My shield absorbed some of it. Alright. I'm not going to do anything with the priest right here. I'm just going to skip the turn. Now it's the Berserker. The Berserker gets 2 attacks, but the drawback is the enemy gets to retaliate in between each attack, unless they're out of stamina, which sometimes happens. So I'll just go ahead and attack. He's dead. Blood flies everywhere. Limbs fly everywhere. Everybody's happy. Alright. Guardian's turn. Now you'll notice there's another enemy, and he was hiding out. Right? And he is actually a ranged enemy. He's an archer. So if I click on this, you can see that he has a movement range of 3, right? And then he can equip a crossbow. So if we look at the crossbow, he has a range of 4. So that is very dangerous. Also, the only way for us to get to this guy, because of the elevation change, as you can see, the only way we could get to this guy is to go up through here, and that's a pain in the ass. So what we're going to try to do is just get to these escape hexes as quickly as we can. So, it is the priest's turn. I do want to be careful with him. I'm going to keep him back for the moment. Just move him there. Alright, so now we can get to one of those tiles. In that turn, Berserker can move up. He'll probably get shot in a second. Alright, now it's Eldrick's turn. Now remember, he's got Aegis. So even if he gets shot, he's not going to get hurt. And the archer decided, apparently, to shoot straight into this pillar. I don't even know what happened. Alright, I'm going to move him here. I'm going to move the Berserker here. Alright. Now, Eldrick says, hurry up, I'll hold them back. We will meet again someday, my friend. So he wants to be a hero. Alright, now, unfortunately, he's in my way. So I gotta swap with him, but I actually have Lightfoot. Here it is. Allowing you to swap with allies multiple times, depending on your move distance. You can still execute an ability after. See, that's what I thought. So I don't know why I couldn't do that a second ago. But anyway, so he can still move, so there you go. Alright, so that's the little intro. Now, there's going to be more tutorial tip kind of stuff going on as we go forward, but that's the initial kind of tutorial stage. So now it's going to tell you some stuff here. I'll just try to run it down. This is our world map. This is the first zone. There are many zones. Me, I've never been to even the second one. Alright. So basically, this is where we are. And then there's nodes along these paths that we can go to. And so you can decide where you want to go and when you want to go there. Every time you move, that's a turn. Alright. And so we have two options. And this says some deserters, namely Lipiers the assassin, are being chased by Nelevis and his bounty hunters. They've been spotted to the north of your current location. And it says there's a party size of 2, so we'd be fighting most likely only 2 enemies. Over here it says a well-known monster slayer, Hrel the Javelineer, has descended to a dismal dungeon to dispatch monsters. He's been gone for over a week and may be injured or dead. The dungeon is located to the east of you. Now, there's a good chance that we will be able to recruit whoever we save when they're in trouble in one of these situations. I really love Javelineers, so I'm going to go here. Now, when we get here, it tells us what the situation is. Investigating this location, you discover an underground passage leading to a vast cavern. Descending deeper, you come upon a herd of beasts. Among the shadows, you also spy an injured man lying on the ground. Seems he's unable to walk. Do you want to sneak in and rescue him? Yeah, I do. But first, I'm going to say not yet, just so I can show you something else. So here is our Manage Party screen. Now, obviously, this is where you manage all your soldiers. So here's Urtuk. We see his stats. We got all his traits over here. This is our collective inventory, and this is where you put mutators, and mutators basically add traits. And you can rank them up. Alright? This is a mutator here, but it's actually a focus item, which goes in this, the far right, this, whatever this thing is. This is where this particular type of thing goes, even though this looks just like the thing on these boxes. I know it's a little confusing. Alright? But if we click here, we can see we got that silver sword, we have an iron helmet, we have an iron shield, and you can upgrade all of these things. And then this guy only has an axe. He doesn't wear armor. He's a berserker. Okay? And basically, you'll see when we win fights, we will get items and we can drag them up here and add mutators to people. We can also send people on missions. You'll have the choice to heal people if you have medicine, things like that when they get injured. Up here on the top, you can see turns, which are days. Trillium is kind of a currency you use, and you can kind of see, you know, how much you have, how much it has changed. This is how much medicine you have. This is life essence, and you use this to extract mutators at the end of every battle. Blood is a resource that's used for special purposes. Flesh, same kind of thing. And alcohol, again, same kind of thing. Alright, you can also drag things over here to get rid of them, to dismantle them, and you'll get Trillium usually as a result. So, now let's just click on Search Site and we'll do this. Alright, so here we are. This is the beginning of a standard battle, and usually, not always, usually you get to choose where you line up in the beginning. So I'm going to scroll out just so we see the whole battlefield. And you can use WASD to move things around. Now, here's the guy that was hurt, that we're trying to save. And then we've got some pretty ridiculous looking monsters here. Alright, 3 of them. The flashing things are the death zones. And then we have these tiles where we can retreat, basically. And you don't have to do this necessarily. We could just kill everyone, which might be what we do. So, these white hexes are where we can start. So you click on a character, and then you right-click where you want them to start. So I'm just going to move my dudes up here, and I'm going to keep the priest back. as always. Now, we can take a look once we get started at the traits and stuff for these monsters. But we've got our position, so we're going to start the battle. If there's any scripted, like, dialogue or things like that for a battle, that'll happen right after this. So, as you can see, this guy says, "Hey, over here, I need your help to get out of here. My leg is badly injured and I can't walk. Please come rescue me." And he says, "Be wary of these monsters. They seem to sleep, but if you come close, they will attack." Well, we're just going to attack them. Alright, so now we have begun. And the priest is moving first, as we can see. Now, I want him to start... Well, you know what? I'm going to leave him where he is. So now it's our Berserker's turn. Now I can go over here and I can see where the enemy can move by mousing over him here. And then I can click this and see what he's got. He can move 3 hexes. He can have plate armor and a mace. And then this is important. If a character has the stalwart trait, you cannot push them. You cannot pull them. In other words, you can't knock them into a death zone necessarily, unless you have a specific trait which is ramming, as it tells you there. But this is something that you really need to keep an eye out for. And then he's got other things here, and you can just kind of pause and read those if you'd like to. But you'll see this stuff come up again and again. Alright, so we're going to move in and attack. He's actually a beast turtle. I never realized that. That's crazy. Now again, we could just sneak around and not even fight these guys. Or we could fight them. And I said I was going to fight them, but I may have just changed my mind. It might be interesting to see if we could sneak through here. Now you'll notice also these spikes here, and up in the top right it tells you about the terrain. And obviously if you walk on these spikes, you're going to have a bad time. Don't do it. However, you can push enemies onto things like this. You can also push enemies into your own allies to stun them, and you can push them into walls to stun them as well. So let's try this sneak thing, because I don't even think I've ever tried that. I think I've always just attacked immediately. So we're going to move him there. In that turn, I'm going to move him over here. And let's see if the monster... Okay, the monster reacted. So we're going to have to fight. I should have just done that from the beginning. So it's the priest's turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the hell out of the way. And now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to be like, alright, man. Alright, let's do it. Now remember, he gets 1 attack, there's a counterattack, and then he attacks again. Notice that I can see how much damage I'm going to do because the red health bar above the death turtle, or whatever the hell he was, is flashing yellow for a certain percentage of the bar. That's how much damage we're going to do. In 1 hit. I broke his armor, he got to hit me back, I get to hit him again with bonus damage. So he's doing pretty poorly right now. So I can bring my guardian up here, and we can be like, alright, let's just finish him off. And I think this will finish him. It looks like it will, but maybe not. Okay, so he's barely alive. Now it's his turn. He attacked. And I'm building up bonus damage as I get hurt, by the way. And I believe this comes from, yeah, Flagrant. So you can see right there, I get bonus damage, depending on how many times I basically get hit. Alright, so now it's the priest's turn. What I want to do is I'm going to give lifesteal to the Berserker. And that'll take a little bit of my health, but that's fine. Then I'm going to move him up. Alright, Berserker again. Now, I could just finish him off right now, which I should probably do. Even though I don't want to waste my second attack, but I'll just do it. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the Guardian. My bad, I thought that was the Berserker. Alright, very good. Alright, so you can see here we are again, it's the priest's turn again. I'm gonna move him over here. Now it's the Berserker. I will move him here. And Guardian over here. Alright. Now we go again. So, now you want to be careful that when this kind of auto pathfinds, that it doesn't take you through spikes or mud. There's also going to be mud, which slows you down. So we're just going to go over here. You can see the path. It's alright. No problem. So we got to this guy. He says, hey, thanks for patching me up. Now let's abscond from this horrid cavern post-haste. He's one of those guys. Alright. So he says, there's a hidden exit in the northwest corner. Please hurry. So we can try to make our way there and just see what happens. Alright, so this turn is over. So I'm going to bring the Berserker up over here. And let's just keep moving, see what we can do. Now you can see the path is going to go through those spikes, so... I believe there's a way... Now, of course, I'm stupid and I don't remember, but I believe there's a way where you can, like, hold some key and plot out the way that you would go. But I'm actually going to be fine just going right here. That's not a big deal. Alright, I don't want the priest to get too far out ahead, because I don't want him to get attacked. But there's really only one way for this guy to come around here. Because you can see, this is all blocked off. It's all blocked off, except for this. So it's going to be in our interest, probably, to go up this way. So we might aggro this guy. We'll see what happens. Now that looks like a spike, but it's not. Now we have control of the Javelineer. You'll notice that his health bar is white. Alright, so we have control of him. And this is a safe path right here. Now this guy has been aggroed, and he is a ranged fighter, which is a shame. Now you'll also notice we got poisoned. That's not good. But you can see it under effects right there on the right. Poisoned for 3 turns. Alright. So we're going to bring the Guardian up. Make sure we're on level terrain here with him so he doesn't get any kind of advantage when he attacks us. Priest is moving again. I'm going to move him here. He just took some poison damage, the Berserker, but it's okay. Now he's going to come up here, do a little bit of work. He got that lifesteal. He got a little bit of health back for lifesteal. But he's taking poison damage, and he's killed him. More lifesteal, and you notice the priest just ate the body. There you go. So we have just unlocked an achievement trait. It's called Poison Resistance, and that'll make us immune to poison, and we just have to do whatever we did 5 more times. It says progress 1 of 6. And it says progress is made when within a single turn, the character is inflicted with more poison effects. So there's always going to be a different thing here that tells you how to get this thing fulfilled. Alright. Okay, now this dude says, shit, they've spotted me. Keep them away from me. And then the Guardian says, we'll try. Alright. So I'm going to move him up here. So this guy... Okay, so it seems like we have to fight no matter what. That's okay. I am going to put lifesteal on this guy, so he can get some health back. And then I will move the priest up here. And now we have the Javelineer. Now he has a range with his javelin of 3 hexes. I'm going to put him right here. He can throw over obstacles, by the way. People with bows cannot shoot through obstacles, but if you're throwing something, you can throw it over. As long as there's, you know, it's only 3 tiles away. Alright, just took some more poison damage. Alright, now it's the Guardian's turn. I'm going to move him up here, because I should be able to hit this dude. This should be 3 hexes away with my Javelineer. I should be able to do that. Alright, now, again, we're going to put lifesteal on the Berserker, because he's getting kind of low. And then we're just going to step right about there. Now it's our Javelineer's turn, and yep, we can hit him. You can see the chance of hitting him, 100%. There you go. And it turns out that he is strong versus beasts. He has a special trait. So he does extra damage against the beast type of character, and as you can see under this guy's name, it says Flesh Beast. Alright, we got lifesteal, so let's use it. Oh man, we only got a little bit of health back. That was dangerous. But there we go. Alright, we cleared everyone out. That's that. Alright, now, as you see, you helped the wounded adventurer to the surface. As thanks for his life, he agreed to join you. So now we've got a Javelineer. And you'll see this at the end of every battle, how much Trillium you get, how much life essence. And then we only have 41 life essence. We don't have enough to extract any of these mutators. But these mutators just give you traits. That's what they do. And if you get multiple versions of the same mutator, you can combine them to make them rank up and make them more powerful. Every time you equip a mutator, it also has a negative effect, and that negative effect gets reduced, gets attenuated, the higher the rank of the mutator. So again, sadly, we can't take any of that. But we can close that, and now we're here. And we look at our party, now we've got the Javelineer. Alright, and he obviously carries Javelins, which can be upgraded with better ones. And we could give this focus ability to anyone we want. I'll just give it to the Priest. And so that's there. Alright. Alright, and then basically another good thing to know is that you should quick save a lot, because this game is very difficult, so I just hit the quick save there. Alright, so that's going to do it for our first episode of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This, again, is called Urtuk the Desolation. It is available in early access on Steam, and we're going to be doing a lot more videos of this. So if you like this, hit like, hit subscribe, stick around. I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys very much.